Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
Nick Fury finally gets the chance to shine on his own. Our favorite D&D character might have been the DMPC, and the murder of Sonic needs to be investigated. That's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I am your guild master, Rick Perry, and I am the talent.
And I am your guild master, Baron Kane, and I'm a high schooler.
And joining us again is a returning guild member. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, this is TJ Kirshner. I guess I'm the driver. I'm the guy that takes the talent and the high schooler on their date.
That's right, I'm in high school.
You're not even old enough to drive quite just yet, apparently.
No. I do get the blue knocked out of my hair later, though.
Oh, yeah.
So, I want to dive right into this episode by mentioning something from last episode. We were talking about The Last Ronin. They're going to be making a video game out of that. And as a celebration of that they have put the hardcover graphic novel, The Last Ronin, on sale on Amazon. It's like 36% off. It makes it only like $20 or a little less than $20. So if you're interested in The Last Ronin at all from hearing us talking about it, go pick that up. It's an awesome book.
It really is. I have it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying I have it, and it's amazing. Perfect. It's a great investment. So yeah, just go out and get it now.
So pardon my stupidity, but what is the Ronin? I mean, I know what a Ronin is, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with the comic series. Can you tell me about it?
I wouldn't call that stupidity. I just want to point out to our viewers that ignorance is not a bad word.
Oh no, it's just me being silly.
I know. Okay, so Last Ronin, it is I don't know how much to say without giving away a spoiler.
Okay,
it is.
I'll go since I can do this without spoilers, because
Sure.
there are certain things that are in the synopsis of the book, so that won't be a spoiler. It's a Ninja Turtles property.
Okay.
It is a book about the last Ninja Turtle, because the other three have died.
Oh, okay.
So
that's awesome.
He is carrying all of his brother's weapons. And the things we'll leave out, we won't say which one it is, which one is the last turtle, because that is one of the spoilers. And we won't say, like, what he's doing or why or any of that stuff, because it's a story that you dive right into, and then it unpacks itself as it goes. But honestly, the fact that it's the last Ninja Turtle and the other three brothers have died, and now he's carrying all of his brother's weapons, that notion alone was enough to sell me on the idea.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That sounds really interesting. I'll have to check that out.
And now it's going to be a video game.
Wow.
So
do you know who's making it?
That is a great question.
I do know that they said they compared it, the gameplay. They're trying to go for like a God of War feel to it.
Oh my gosh. That is very not TMNT or the traditional TMNT.
Right, yeah, I don't know what they exactly mean by that. I don't know if they mean like the gameplay itself, or maybe that limited open world feel that it has. You know what I mean?
Like on rails kind of game.
Yeah, it's like, God of War, it looks so open
Linear.
world. It looks like you go anywhere, but you definitely have to go on this path. You know?
Gotcha. Is it like that kind of grittiness, that kind of like gore and hack and slash kind of thing?
This comic would definitely cover that. It is pretty intense.
The
pretty
article
violent.
I see here about the Last Ronin video game is saying that it's being developed by an unnamed studio and is likely a few years off from release.
Okay, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I will also say this: anybody going out to get that, I will give a heavy trigger warning for a certain scene in there that deals with suicide.
Well, I mean, when your brothers are all dead, you're by yourself. Makes sense. You would be coming to grips with that kind of idea.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
sounds very heavy.
It is a very heavy scene. Yeah, very intense.
Very heavy. I think dark. Very similar to the original Eastman and Laird tone back when it was still black and white and they all wore red,
bandanas.
masks.
Yeah, cool. All right, I'm in it. I'll have to check it out. Thanks for the info.
But as long as we're still in the comic book space, Marvel dropped a few new trailers on us.
What they did?
You guys excited about?
Did they ever?
You guys excited about Secret Invasion?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit about this before the beginning of the episode. I'm really glad to see putting Nick Fury in the driver's seat and giving him a full-length movie, that he is stepping out of his supporting role character, and we could actually learn more about him and how he's been coming to grips with after the blip and everything that's changed.
Right. Absolutely. And I do know I said they definitely need to do it now. With Sam Jackson at the age he is. Again, I don't have a problem with older actors, but Nick Cage. I quit. Bye. Nick Fury.
You can do him too. Sure, why not?
Right, yeah. Nick Cage, the next Nick Fury.
Oh, jeez. Please, no.
Wait a minute. That could work. Anyways. But yeah, so, I mean, he's up there. He's past 70 at this point. 72, 73, something like that.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess he
Can't
really
tell.
is.
You can't tell.
No. Oh, God, no. If someone told me that man was in his late 50s, I'd be like, you're probably right.
That would have been my guess, too. But now that I'm thinking about it, in the movies that he's been in, he's definitely getting up there.
I mean, I don't want him to come for me or anything like that, but Snoop Dogg looks fucking than Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And I bring him up because I just watched WrestleMania and Snoop Dogg was there, and I was like, wow, he's looking old.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be nice to see Sam Jackson while he's still young enough to do a lot of the stuff that he can do in the series as Nick Fury in a lead role instead of a supporting role. The closest we've gotten to him in a lead role before, I think, was Captain Marvel, because a lot of the story did center around Nick Fury. But even then, was still supporting, and having a whole series, getting to see Sam Jackson do what Sam Jackson do will be awesome. And that's what we're getting to, because you think Disney, and you think they got this tight leash on all the actors, and you're going to do it the way we want to do it. But the way Sam Jackson operates, if he can't do it the way he wants to do it, he doesn't do the picture. I mean,
he can afford not to.
Which takes a lot, because he's done some pictures.
Yeah, because George Lucas was like, "You're going to be in the Star Wars," and he was like, "You're going to give me a purple lightsaber," and he was like, "Fine, you could get the purple lightsaber," and so he did Star Wars. So if Sam Jackson isn't doing Sam Jackson, the show wouldn't happen.
I don't have a lot of backstory in this, but I always liked to think that the reason why he got stuff like that is because it's just he's that awesome of a guy. It wasn't, if I don't get this, I'm backing out. It's, you know what, Sam? You're a great guy. You get the purple lightsaber.
I don't know if that's true for Star Wars, but I do know that's how it happened for Snakes on a Plane.
Okay, yeah, you're right on that one.
They offered him the role on Snakes on a Plane, and it was just a working title. But he said, if you change the title of this picture, I'm not in it.
That is true. I did hear that. I did hear that.
That's pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie.
He was like, let the people know what they're in for. It's snakes on a plane.
It was the right choice to keep it that way.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it got your attention for sure. Got people to see the movie that most people would have been like, what the heck is this stuff? If it was any other person in any other movie title.
True.
But yeah, the Disney Marvel hasn't made a single series that I haven't been on board for on Disney Plus yet, so I'm excited.
So you think I think that this would be the best cameo for this. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in it, Frank Castle drives in with a moving truck and slams into somebody. Somebody.
Yeah.
He did it twice in what was it? It wasn't Civil War. No. Winter Soldier.
Yes.
He did it twice in Winter Soldier, unofficially.
Right.
He could do it now.
Yes. And this time it can be officially. This time, he can actually, step out of the driver's seat and we can...
He's just gonna step out of the wrecked truck. He's like, how many times do I gotta do this? And then just walk away.
Fantastic.
Nice.
We also got a couple new spots. I don't know if they're full trailers. They're more teasers to let you know tickets are available for sale. But we got a couple new spots for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
One of them I saw was really good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all of them haven't been really good.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the latest ones, I can't remember what exactly was going on.
I don't think I've seen the most recent one.
Yeah, they just came out a couple days ago. Like I said, they're more teasers than they are trailers. They were basically just to let you know that the tickets are on sale now.
When's that coming out?
May 5th.
Okay, wow. That's really around the corner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fast.
How about the new Spider-Verse? Did you see that?
Yes. Oh, man. Much more... Okay, not to knock the first trailer, teaser, whatever it was, but it didn't have a whole lot of Miles in it. Like, it was very unclear as far as what was going on.
It was definitely unclear. Now I feel like I'm understanding a little bit more about what's going on and the underlying thought process of what, like, he's going to have to make a choice, it seems like, to save someone in his family, which I guess is his dad, given what they're insinuating in the trailer, or saving the world. How his dad is tied to the saving of the world, still not 100% sure. Nice that we get a little more information about Spider-Gwen, too. I don't know very much about her at all, outside of that she's the female Spider-Woman. So it looks like she had a Peter Parker that died, and that's her Aunt May, tragic backstory.
Even better.
Yeah.
Her Peter Parker was also her lizard.
Yeah,
he was
her
the
lizard?
Yeah, so, you know, Kurt Connors, the lizard?
Yeah. Oh, that was Kurt Connors under that mask?
Well, it wasn't a mask. He got transformed.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about in the trailer, because she's over the body of. Okay, that
not
really
in the
confused
trailer.
me for a second there.
So
like Spider-Man and the lizard are the same person. What?
So standard. Yes. Let's say 616 Spider-Man.
Okay.
Of course, there was the lizard who he had to, who was his villain, but eventually he had to help, and then he had Gwen Stacy, who he couldn't save. Gwen Stacy died in his arms and he beat himself up over it because he blamed himself because he felt like his web was what killed her.
Right.
And then in Spider-Gwen's universe, that is Gwen Stacy, where everything kind of gets flipped. Gwen gets the powers, Peter becomes the lizard, and then
I see what you're saying now.
She blames herself for killing him.
Well, I think she also gets blamed by her dad.
Yeah.
Who is also still Captain Stacy.
Yeah, so everything gets kind of flipped in her universe.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, they also call her Ghost Spider in her universe.
Well, that's her name in the official name in the comic books now, too, is Ghost Spider.
Yeah. Yeah, we all call her Spider-Gwen because that's just...
It's just like Miles eventually got the name Spin. Instead of just being Spider-Man.
Did he?
Yeah, Spin is what they call him
now. That either.
Which I'd like him just better as Spider-Man. Like, just let him have Spider-Man. Yeah. But then there's a bunch of series now. Like, we're talking, there's also a series that my daughter likes to watch that's made for, real little kids called Spider and His Amazing Friends, or Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And and it's Spider-Man Peter Parker, Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So rather than making it confusing, they literally call Peter Spider-Man, they call Gwen Ghost Spider, and they call Miles Spin, which I don't know if that's where it originated, because I know they call him Spin sometimes in the comics now, too.
I guess that makes sense when it's the three of them that are together, but I'm with Baron on that. Spider-Man, then it's kind of like a mantle, Peter was passing on to Miles.
I just put this in my head, though. I realize why they had to do it.
Yeah.
Because when he was originally Spider-Man, he was in the Ultimate Universe. And Peter Parker died in that universe. Yeah. So he took on the mantle. But since Secret Wars, those worlds have smashed together.
Right.
So now Miles exists in the world where Peter Parker is still Spider-Man. And also... 30 years older than the Peter Parker that he knew.
I just hate that they have to do it, quote unquote, have to do it in order to help differentiate, because part of Miles's story was coming to the grips with the fact that he is Spider-Man. It's just that he is good enough, and he can do it, and he is Spider-Man. He doesn't have to be, the other Spider-Man. He doesn't have to be the second Spider-Man. He is Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man. Yeah.
And so,
the fact that, first.
Yeah, the fact that you, throw the name Spin on him now, it's like, I get why you, quote-unquote, have to do it, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
He'll always be Spider-Man in my heart. He's always been my favorite Spider-Man, so I like him more than Peter, so...
I think either A, they should have kept that universe open, let him be the Spider-Man of that universe. Mm-hmm. B, kill off our Spider-Man.
Yeah. Kill
off our Peter Parker. I mean, they killed off the other Peter Parker, and I thought the other Peter Parker was great.
Yep.
Just let him be Spider-Man.
Yep.
It'd be fine. I'd be fine with that.
I don't understand why you can't just have Spider-Man and Spider-Man. When he shows up in a different color suit, you'll know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Did you play the PS5 Spider-Man, Miles?
Oh yeah.
I played a little bit.
I
wish it was longer. It was such a great game.
I platinumed both of those Spider-Man games by Insomniac.
Nice.
I did everything you could. I love those games, and I cannot wait for the new one that looks like you're playing as both of them, both Spider-Man and Miles, and it looks like you're either playing them simultaneously, or maybe they might have some sort of co-op thing going on. I don't know. But no matter what, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
But to jump back 10 minutes at this point, where you made your little mistake where you said Nick Cage instead of Nick Fury. Have you guys seen the trailer for Renfield?
No.
I have.
What's that?
I have.
It's a movie about Dracula's assistant, which in the books was Renfield. My dog is named after Renfield. And Nick Cage is playing Dracula.
Okay.
It looks hilarious and fantastic. I told my wife about it when I first saw the trailer, and I was like, Nick Cage is going to be Dracula.
This looks familiar, yeah.
And she was like, I don't want to see a movie where Nick Cage is Dracula. And then I showed her the trailer, and she was like, all right, I want to go see it.
It looks now that I'm looking, I just pulled it up, and the fact that he's the assistant, that kind of clicked in my head. I did see it. It looks like it could be really funny.
Yeah, it's got a very What We Do in the Shadows vibe.
Yeah, the title is "Sucks to Be Him," Renfield.
And if you want to count Renfield as a zombie type character, which it could be a bit of a stretch, but it'd be this guy's second zombie character that he's played.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's definitely a ghoul, if nothing else. Renfield, definitely.
Oh, yeah. In what we know of as ghouls, he's a ghoul.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little?
So
I thought Renfield, based on my impression of the trailer, it seemed like Renfield was just a normal human that was just coerced into helping Dracula.
World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade is a game where you can play as a vampire, and there's a lot of different types of vampires and creatures and things like that. But humans who are given the blood of vampires are known as ghouls. And because
he was given the blood, okay.
Because they drink the blood of a vampire, they get, superhuman powers, or they become unnaturally loyal, they can't, not be near the person who's been feeding them their blood and that sort of thing. So, and Vampire the Masquerade calls them a ghoul.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, that's Renfield is what inspired the concept of ghouls in World of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot of different things that I argue that there's really nothing original about World of Darkness at all. Especially Vampire the Masquerade, because what they didn't rip off from vampire books, they took from Anne Rice, a lot from Anne Rice.
Yeah.
Even the concept of Malkavians, which are an insane kind of vampire, they kind of took from them too. But it works for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you want in a vampire role-playing game anyway. I mean, who's looking for something? You want to be the vampires that you've read about when you play a vampire role-playing game. Who wants an entirely new lore that you have to learn just for this game? You want to be Dracula or Lestat or some other vampire that you've read about in media, and Vampire the Masquerade lets you do that perfectly.
Kind of reminds me of the Fury of Dracula, one of my favorite tabletop games. Well, you can play as Dracula, and you got 3 other people that are vampire killers trying to track you down.
Mm-hmm.
We played a version called the oh my gosh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the Jack the Ripper version of it.
Okay.
It's the same
Well, you're
exact
Jack the
game
Ripper
except it's
and-
Jack the Ripper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's still pretty cool.
My kid was like 9 playing it. Got totally lucky, and like the first or second round, caught him.
Wow.
Just happened to make the right move, and the guy who was playing Jack the Ripper was like,
well, I'm done.
You got me.
Yeah. See, my problem was I was playing with my wife, who, as Rick well knows, rolls extremely well and is very, very lucky.
Unnaturally well.
Yeah, very much so. This is why I have no good luck myself, is because I apparently give it all to my lovely wife.
Fair.
It's also why she's not allowed to DM.
No, ever. We'll never survive.
She'd have to be a DM who fudged her rolls if she ever DM'd. And she'd have to roll everything behind the screen and lie about all the crits that she was hitting.
It wouldn't be fair for the fun for the rest of us.
A good DM would do that anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
True. And
I think a DM that doesn't fudge their rolls for the sake of the story is a bad DM.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least an inexperienced one.
Yeah.
Speaking of, anybody watch the D&D movie?
Yeah, I watched the D&D movie. Oh my god.
Can I?
What'd you think?
Did you like the Dungeon Master self-insert character?
Oh yeah. By the way, spoilers ahead for the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah.
If you want to
It's gonna
skip
happen.
ahead
Just
for
a
a little
little.
while, because I'm not going to be cagey talking about this movie.
No. No, I was about to
don't.
just come right out and say who this was here in a second.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Dungeon Master self-insert character. You know, when you play with that Dungeon Master that hasn't played in years, and it's just like, I really got to get my character in here, and he comes in, takes over the entire game, saves the day, and then just kind of disappears after a while.
Mm-hmm.
The Paladin.
100%.
The Paladin was 100% a DM character.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now that you described it to me, I was like, oh my god, you're right. But I loved the Paladin character though. He was so funny. Yeah. Reminds me of Drax. Like, he's got that kind of dry humor where everything is literal. But he was so hilarious.
I think that only leans more into proving that it's the DM character, because the DM is trying to tone check through his own character. Like, of course he doesn't know what these colloquialisms are. They don't exist in this world yet. They don't exist in that speech. Stop trying to do it.
Yeah. I still think that my favorite part of that character was when he was walking away. And Chris Pine made the whole scene there. He was like, and look at him, just walking away.
Straight line.
What you gonna do? There's a rock. There's a rock. Is he gonna go around it straight? Right over.
I hope that part is
right over.
I know, right? It was all improv. That would have been even more perfect. The whole theater was just roaring with laughter when that happened.
Well, even the part where he walked over, and I hope that was that actor ad-libbing that part too. Yeah. So like he's like walking and he realizes there's a rock. No one said cut yet, and he's like, oh, fuck, what do I do?
I'm just gonna keep going.
Up and over. The director was like, just walk a straight line. Okay. Shit. All right.
Or the part where the barbarian was like, so she was a deer. That was so funny.
And let me tell you, I can feel completely justified with halflings being my favorite my favorite race now.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to be a short king more in my life. Never wanted to be a short king more in my life.
100%.
I mean, to get snoo to death by normal sized people, I'm in. I say normal size, but
this is big.
Big.
My only complaint is the whole movie. There's only one dwarf. One dwarf. The whole movie.
Yeah.
But for that to be my only complaint, like that's still saying something.
They had tons of halflings and tons of just small people in general.
I wouldn't say a ton of halflings.
A fair handful.
Yeah.
Was there a handful of halflings?
I mean,
Well, there was a hobbit, and
I'd say like 4. I think in total.
4? Really?
There was one on there was one on the council.
Let me tell you though, I love Jarnathan. I love Jarnathan to death, but she made it for me.
Yeah,
She made it from when he falls out the window. She's like, Jarnathan.
You know, if this was an actual D&D campaign, they had totally planned on talking their way out of the prison until they heard that Aarakocra's name was Jarnathan, and then they were like, nope, the whole plan's Jarnathan now. Forget everything. We love Jarnathan. The whole plan is Jarnathan.
Oh my god, I just realized Jarnathan, that is what Jarnathan is. Jarnathan is that one-off DM NPC that everybody falls in love with.
Yep, they're like,
and you don't know why.
They were like, okay, so who's on the council? They're like, okay, so there's a halfling named this, a dragonborn named this, there's a human and an Aarakocra, and they're like, oh, what's the Aarakocra's name? And the DM's going, Jarnathan, and everybody goes, Jarnathan.
And as a DM, you're going, shit, now we're going to think up more stuff. What does he look like? What is he saying? Does he have...
Jarnathan, completely practical.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of those characters are.
Practical effects. Oh,
loved it. The Dragonborns blew my mind.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys notice the Gith Yankee?
I think I might have missed that.
I can't remember what I was watching. I think it was New Rockstars. Yeah. Remember when he was doing his Harper thing, and he tripped some guy on the bridge?
Oh yeah.
That was a Githyanki that's dressed just like the one in the book.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I cannot wait to own this movie and watch it over and over and over again and catch all these things.
Yeah.
They paused it on the video, and I was like, oh shit. Then they showed him side by side with this dude. Mm-hmm. Oh. Also,
the behind the scenes are going to be really great. I hope they add that to the streaming library.
Yes. The one thing that I caught on my own, which I guess other people caught it, but whatever. The one thing I caught on my own, that painting that they used as a portal? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The painting of what it was before of the guy?
Yeah.
That's Volo.
Yep. Yeah, we were all, me and my D&D group, we all went to, and we were all, like, elbowing each other, like, it's Volo!
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. That's what
I remember. I read it somewhere. What really sold the movie for me, before I saw it in theaters, was I saw a clip of them in the graveyard talking to the corpses and asking the 5 questions. And, yeah?
We talked about this last episode.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. No.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're going to talk about it again. But
and there was these 2 guys that were talking about it, and it really got me involved. I was like, yeah, that sounds great.
Just a quick insert. The dead guys in that scene are actors from a TV show called Auntie Donna's. I don't know the whole thing, but I call it Auntie Donna's. It could be just that. It's a comedy show, and it's on Netflix. If you've never seen it, it's an Australian comedy show. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's hilarious.
What's it called again?
It's like Auntie Donna's.
Uh-huh.
Auntie Donna. Oh, the comedy group is called Auntie Donna, but the show is called Auntie Donna's Big Ol' House of Fun.
Yeah, I just found it. Okay. It's on Netflix, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, but last week we were talking about how that had to be one jerk of a DM to just allow them to spend all 5 questions. Like, that was just them sitting around talking at the table, and the DM go like the first 2, they accidentally wasted it, and then the DM was like, yep, that counts.
Uh-huh. Oh, that was so priceless. And then at the end of the movie, the ending scene, they brought it back to that guy. He's just like, somebody can ask me questions so I go back to sleep, please.
Oh my god, my kid. Okay, so I took the Spawn to watch it, and he was watching and felt so bad that he was still alive, and he was like, is nobody gonna go? I was like, okay, hun, just if it makes you feel better, there's a duration on that spell. It will wear off eventually, and he'll go back to death. And he was like, "Oh, okay.
Wow, wow." Feels like it would be a great way to advertise the movie too. Like, you know how you go to Comic-Con and they have these big displays advertising movies or video games that are coming up. It would have been great for Dungeons and Dragons if you could actually walk up to one of those corpses and ask them questions as a way to advertise the movie.
Let's see, you're a marketing genius.
And it's actually perfect because you could just do yes or no questions.
It'd have to be yes or no questions, and you could keep the line moving because you only get 5.
That's right.
Yeah. And then because just yes or no questions, you could just randomize that shit. Yeah, that'd be great. Yes. No. Yes.
I didn't.
Every once in a while, doesn't count. What?
And it's no like you can like chit chat afterwards. No, once you're done those 5 questions, he just lays back down and you're done, son. Move to the next person.
And like, who stole the show? But my big boy, Themberchild.
Oh yeah, fucking Chonkysaurus Rex. Fucking love it.
That was
and you
amazing.
Know what?
I want a dragon to be in this particular scene. They're like, oh, okay, yeah. But he's really, really fat.
Wait, hold on. He exists in D&D.
If you know Phelan lore,
okay.
He's canon. Like
that makes it even better.
He used to get fed by the Duragar in order to heat their forges. Fantastic pulls.
And I will say that I was sold when I saw in the previews him laying on that thing, tipping it back, and him sliding down the bones. I was over the moon to see this fat bastard rolling around and trying to bite people as he rolled. Oh, I was like, you chubby king. I am in. You
Baron saw his next cosplay that day.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Oh, the look on his face. He's just like, the ideas are flowing.
It kind of gives you a reason to buy those ugly D&D figures, because then you could just...
that's true.
You could just ah!
You can make one of them the Paladin, like, I got him back.
Yeah, but... go ahead.
I mean, you brought up those ugly figures again, and you brought down the mood. Thanks.
I'll tell you what brought down my mood. There wasn't an AMC near me, so I couldn't go to AMC and get the popcorn bucket. And then the moment they made it available on their website, it sold out.
Yeah, we ran into a similar problem.
If it makes you guys feel better, you could probably go on eBay and get them for like $100.
That does not make me feel better. And they're more than 100 already. They're already well over 100.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, we tried. We were we have an AMC over by the Avenue, and we weren't going to go see a movie. We just wanted to just go into the theater and be like, we don't have a ticket, but do you have any of the popcorn buckets? Can we buy the popcorn buckets? We went like multiple times, and they never had it. I hope they get more, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah.
Again, in all seriousness, if it does make you guys feel better, they're probably shitty quality. You could probably just get a bunch of the shapes of the D20, and what are those shapes? Are they triangles?
Yeah, triangles.
You could just get a bunch of little triangles of all the same shape and put them together in a D20 shape, and it's probably going to be way better than you could have gotten from AMC.
Look, somebody's going to scan it. Somebody's going to scan it. And make a STL file.
3D print.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I think that would automatically be 100% better, because I'm envisioning in my head the cheap plastic that these things are made out of. So if you use like the 3D printing plastic that spools the plastic that they have, it's probably already just 100% better quality. I'm not trying to shit all over AMC here, but
I will say I have considered looking into ordering the theater exclusive they had in Thailand. It was
that now?
It was a drink cup, but the cup itself was also a dice tower.
Okay, now I'm in.
And
I'm
like,
in for that one.
so you had the cup in the middle, right? And then you
that.
had a clear encasing around the cup with little stairs that go down around the cup that like dump out into a dice
Shut
tray.
up.
And
I'm going to need you to shut. You need to shut up. Wow.
I've seen a couple people on TikTok who have ordered it and like got it here in the States, and like one woman was holding up and it's like, it's as big as my head.
Oh,
I
and it's
think
big.
I found it.
I think I did too.
It's got like a dragon all around it.
Yep.
Oh wow, that looks awesome.
It looks fantastic. I've toyed with the idea of ordering one of those or seeing if it's available.
And it's got an accurate black dragon on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't just throw some generic dragon on there. That is.
It looks awesome.
That does look really awesome.
Oh my god, I want it so bad.
Well, if you find
$66
out that it's available and how much it is, you let me know.
Well, you know what? You know, if it makes me feel better, it's probably a cheap plastic.
Is that your go-to for any kind of toy you're not able to buy? It's probably just some cheap rhymestone thing that a 13-year-old made in the basement. So.
Somebody's gonna scan it, and they'll be 3D printing them in no time.
Oh my god! Oh, wait! I see one on eBay for $48.95. I don't trust it for the life of me, but it's on eBay for $48.95.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, I just found that too.
But that's not bad at all.
The thing is, you could get way cooler dice towers for way cheaper. The only reason it costs that much is because it's official D&D movie merchandise.
I'm literally not. Wait a minute. Is that a cup? How is that a cup? Oh, it goes down in the middle.
Yep, the cup goes in the middle.
Yeah, but you know what? I've never seen that before, though.
Yeah.
A cup that's also. I mean, come on.
This particular person says 7 available, 84 sold. So what do? They just
bought as many as they could.
Buy a ton of it?
Scalpers.
Jeez,
Scalpers. But they also
ruining
announced,
the fun for the rest of us.
Yeah, they also announced the popcorn bucket for the Mario movie, and while it's not I gotta have it, it does look neat.
Well, now I gotta look it up.
It's a question block.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
I also just found another dice tower that looks bad as fuck. What is this? Game Work Create Brewery Dice Tower?
Yeah.
It's a dwarven brewery.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is also a dice tower.
We do live in the era for Dungeons and Dragons nerds. I mean, like, if you want just about anything, it exists. Someone has made it. Someone has 3D printed, created files. This is our time. Like, if anyone has ever said, you know, I was born in the wrong time, I should have been, like, I will never say that, because when it comes to being a Dungeons and Dragons nerd, this is our time.
Yeah. Yes.
Sure. There's some really cool shit out there when it comes to 3D printing, but it's such an expensive hobby.
Yeah. This is why it's best just to know somebody who's already, like, super into that hobby, who's willing to print for you at cost.
Or just have someone close by that you can go in on it with.
Yep, that's true.
You know, time sharing a 3D printer isn't that bad of a gig.
It feels like something like a business should just take advantage of. Like, just have a business that has a whole bunch of 3D printers.
Oh, there are a ton of them, and there are local game stores that do that too. Like they'll buy a 3D printer and sell miniatures off of it and stuff. But you know, Baron, you know what you don't need a 3D printer for? Awesome T-shirts at T-Villain.
Gasp!
T-Villain is a T-shirt site where you'll find a killer limited edition shirt being sold for $13 only while supplies last. Every Monday, the site features a new design by a new artist. We would tell you what's featured right now, but by the time you hear this, it's already changed.
They choose the most ingenious designs that reflect everything evil and villainy, as well as works pertaining to anything artistic, pulp style, lowbrow, pop culture, TV, movies, music, video games, comics, etc. All things cool and evil, basically. To check them out and help Casters Guild, click our link in the description.
Now I gotta look up T-Villain.
But yeah, the awesome D&D movie aside, other cool stuff has been announced recently. I am pumped. We're getting a Scott Pilgrim anime.
Yeah, buddy.
Completely voiced by the movie cast.
Which is mind-blowing considering the all-star cast that was in the movie to begin with.
Yeah. I think it comes down to a lot of when they were in the original movie, they definitely were not the big names that they are now.
No.
And I think
but they went on
many
to
of them just so enjoyed doing that movie. I think a lot of them were just chomping at the bit to come back to the project.
That's a nice thought.
Mm-hmm.
It sure seems likely because, yeah, they did go on to do a lot of really amazing roles after that.
Yeah. You had Superman and Captain Marvel in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He had already been Superman.
Yes.
And she became Captain Marvel, so that's cool. Chris Evans was already a somebody. No, wait.
He was a-ish somebody. Like, he had been in, like, The Losers.
That's right. But he hadn't been Captain America yet.
No.
Right?
No,
Had
not
not
yet.
been Captain America yet. So now we got there. Now there's Captain America in that movie.
Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think.
The Punisher was in there. He was one of the vegan police.
Oh, yeah!
Oh,
He
okay.
was! Oh.
And I also have a ramen book written by the other guy
The other
in the ramen
member
police.
of the vegan
Mhm.
police?
who is in a ton of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He
yeah,
is in
yeah.
a ton of stuff. It's ridiculous.
I don't think there was anybody in that movie who didn't have at least somewhat of a successful career after Scott Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, one of them already kind of had a successful career, but you would never have known it.
Yeah.
It was the voice of Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
Which character was she?
She was the lesbian ninja.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And Gideon.
And I
actually
gotta watch
had
the
a-
movie in second. Good, yeah.
Gideon had a successful career well before Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I mean, so did Michael Cera.
Yeah. Well, he had a couple
yeah.
hits. I don't know if I'd say super big name, but
How about he is just as successful then as he is now?
yes.
Because he hasn't done too terribly much.
No, I think he's never looked bigger than he looked in was it the End of the World or This Is the End? The movie where
That was so
they
fucking
all
funny.
played their they
Yeah.
made Michael Cera look like a huge star in that movie. Like somebody was like, if I don't have sex with Michael Cera tonight, I'm gonna kill myself.
It was so funny. It was. Oh, and then when Rihanna slapped him.
Oh yeah, that's a real slap.
Yeah, because he was like, "Hey, would you mind if I slapped your ass?" And she was like, "Only if I could slap you." He was like, "Deal."
Yep.
And he slapped her butt, and she wailed on him. I don't know how he stayed conscious through that slap.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
that was intense. But yeah, anybody who doesn't know, I'm a huge Scott Pilgrim fan. I'm a huge Edgar Wright fan in general. But I was into Scott Pilgrim before it was a movie. So it kind of just took a couple of my loves. You had anything by Scott Lee O'Malley, because I was a big fan of Scott Pilgrim, and I also really like Seconds and a couple of other books he's done. And then you have my favorite director of the world, Edgar Wright, who like just works that it gets to the point where Scott and Edgar don't know who wrote what ending. They were trading ideas back and forth so much, like they don't remember who came up with the ending to the movie and who came up with the ending to the graphic novel and how they decided who was going to use which ending. But it's fantastic, like the collaboration between them. So to come back and make it a whole anime, and I don't know if anybody saw Scott Pilgrim versus the animation, which I want to say, I forget which channel did that. I don't know if that
Adult
was
Swim.
Made for Adult Swim then. That was fantastic. They just took an excerpt from the graphic novel that wasn't in the movies and let the movie cast voice that. If that's what we're getting, like Scott Pilgrim versus the animation, just as like a whole series,
That would be pretty tight.
Double on board.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we played the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World game, the video game. Yeah. Was that for Extra Life? I don't remember.
No, way back then, that's when you were still doing Gamers Halloween. Before we were doing it for charity.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so give everybody a little bit of backstory. I used to host an annual Halloween event where I would just grab a bunch of my friends and a bunch of TVs and a bunch of consoles and a PC or two and just play scary video games all night long for as long as we could. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. I kind of started with a friend of mine in college where I would play Fatal Frame over at his college dorm and just kind of launched from there. And then we heard about Extra Life, and that event was happening during the Halloween time as well. And I was like, hey, let's turn this into a charity and do it 24 hours straight. And we're all like, yeah.
And been doing it ever since.
Yep.
Awesome.
But to be fair, I don't remember if when we played all the way through Scott Pilgrim, I don't remember if we were doing that for Gamers Halloween or if that was your end of the world party.
I don't remember. I do remember us playing it, though.
Yeah, back when everybody thought the world was going to end because of the Mayan calendar.
TJ
threw a very similar party to his Gamers Halloween parties to celebrate the end of the world.
I mean, I want to point out it did end. We just got shifted into another reality.
Well, yeah. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I say hi to myself every once in a while when I see my alternate self pass by.
Yeah. When we split, he gave me his phone number. We're supposed to go out for beer sometime. I think he likes me though. That's weird. It's really weird. Yeah, Nega Baron.
He's a good guy. We're gonna go get waffles later.
I mean, to be fair, I really think that's how me meeting my Nega version would go.
Yes, absolutely. That was one of the most relatable parts of that movie.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, really, if you think about it, the Nega version of Scott Pilgrim, he should be a good guy.
Yeah, because Scott is not.
Scott's an ass.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim is another one of those movies where you can really get somebody, you can really look on the barometer of someone's processes. If they're like, if they're like, oh no, Scott Pilgrim, he was the best character in that.
We watched the same movie, right?
It's one of those. One of those fandoms that I have to be careful when I tell people that I'm really into Scott Pilgrim, because people can go, "Are you really into Scott Pilgrim?" To be fair, I think he's a jerk, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, that's like one of those.
So obviously they've seen it.
Obviously,
yeah.
But it's like you say that, and it's like, so what did you think about the Joker? It's just a quick follow up. Did you like the Joker? Not the movie, the character in that movie. Did you like him? Was that good? Was he relatable?
Did you think Anakin was right?
Well, I mean,
oh, look at the time. I gotta go. Hey, I'll call you later. No, you won't.
Maybe not all the way right, but.
Oh, is this another Anakin did nothing wrong, Baron?
Oh, God.
No, he did some things wrong. He
did.
When he killed the younglings, he could have easily just swooped them up and turned them into little Sith. He didn't have to kill them. What?
You're impressionable youth. They would have gone along with it.
But he did fulfill the prophecy.
No, kiddos. It's fun. It's
the Mandalorian.
We'll everything will be great.
The Mandalorian would have been a very different show.
Oh yeah.
All right. We also, I know we don't pay as much attention to DC movies on this podcast, but we got a trailer for Blue Beetle, which looks
really good.
That looks great.
Yeah.
And can I tell you my favorite line in the whole trailer?
Sure.
Please. You probably know what it is. Batman is a fascist.
Oh yeah. That was
good. And there's a lot of people I've seen some people bitching about it online, but it's like, you know what? You put yourself in a position where, you have your own business. It's probably doing okay for the area you're in. You're absolutely a person of color, and you are dealing with the hardships that this country is putting on you. And then you look at this rich white man who goes around beating the piss out of poor people.
Yeah.
And he's rich because of all of his toys. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, you're a fucking fascist. Come on.
And
yeah,
then...
he's my favorite superhero in the world. Not Jaime, his uncle, is my favorite superhero in DC Universe.
And if you're a fan of Cobra Kai, Zolo Murray Dueña is playing the Blue Beetle.
Nice.
And he was one of the main characters in Cobra Kai, Miguel Diaz.
So I don't know a ton about Blue Beetle outside of Young Justice and seeing him in those cartoons, anime, sure. So how is it good to the source material? Does it follow his backstory real well?
From what I saw from the trailer, close enough.
Okay.
Especially for DC.
It is. Yeah.
Especially for the DCEU or whatever they're calling it.
I mean, basically, Jaime gets exposed to this scarab It takes over his body. It's essentially a symbiote at that point. Gives him these crazy powers and armor and everything. So yeah, it matches close enough.
I don't think in the comic book he ever created the Buster Sword like he does in the trailer.
That was so fucking... That was a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger moment if I've ever seen it. When he picked it up and then he did the... Jesus.
It's that like, obviously, so this guy... Like, I can create whatever you want. I'm a fan of Final Fantasy VII, bitch. Make me the Buster Sword.
That would be so great.
I'm waiting for him to hit someone in the chest with that sword and just crazy sparks fly off for no reason. Yeah. I'm just waiting for that.
Oh, man. A lot of stuff to be excited about.
Wait. Also, another thing that I'm really excited about, that Blue Beetle, is you see the original Blue Beetle's stuff in there. Ted Cord stuff. You see the original Blue Beetle's costume. You see the Ted Cord one that you're more familiar with, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold kind of stuff. And you see the bug, his ship. That I was pretty pumped up. Well, I mean, obviously he went to Cord Industries, so Ted Cord exists. Or used to exist in this world. So yeah, pretty pumped up about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that the DC Cinematic Universe has come out with that I'm not excited about at all. I mean, I can only think of one DCEU movie I really liked, and that was Shazam. And it feels like this Blue Beetle might follow a lot of that tone.
Are you talking about the second Shazam or the first Shazam?
I haven't seen the second one yet.
So okay, I have seen the second one.
And not as good?
No, it wasn't. It was okay.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of bad things, mostly their disjointed storytelling that they tried to shoehorn some stuff in there and it just didn't make sense.
I'll also say, while I acknowledge they are bad movies, I did enjoy both Suicide Squads.
Yeah.
That second Suicide Squad is not a bad movie.
You don't think so? I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun in both Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. I like that too.
I didn't mind Birds of Prey, honestly. I didn't mind it. Again, it got a little disjointed, but
the way they portrayed the Black Mask, even though it was the actor that it was, still, it didn't hit it for me. But still had fun watching that movie.
Are you going to go see the new Flash when it comes out?
No.
No? Why is that?
Well, first of all, like I said, DCEU just doesn't do it for me. Second of all, they had an awesome movie in the can in Batgirl with Brendan Fraser as the villain Firefly. And they were like, oh, well, we can't release this movie. But then you have Ezra Miller does some real messed up stuff, but they had the entire movie in the can, and they were like, well, we have to release this movie. We've recorded the whole thing. Even though we don't want to work with Ezra Miller anymore, we have to release the movie. We already made it. And it's like,
gotcha.
But you're going to cut Batgirl? For why? So even though they had filmed the entire movie, it's done. It's in the can. Like, Brendan Fraser was talking about how there's an excellent movie that exists somewhere that, like, we'll never get to see. That he had a blast filming. So, no, I do have problems with The Flash in general.
Yeah,
and it's and as much as it is problematic for me to say, it's less about the Ezra Miller stuff and more about me being salty over Batgirl. But not saying it's not so because of Ezra Miller. Yeah.
It's so fucked up because I wasn't going to see it because of Ezra Miller, but then I was like, well, they've already made it. They're probably not going to use them anymore. You know, these people worked on this. They put a lot into it. You know, maybe I should support it. But then now you're saying this. It's like, fuck. Now I don't want to watch it again. What am I going to do?
I don't know too much about the actor. I guess I'll have to look into it to see what's going on.
It's a shit show. Be prepared for a long read. Yeah.
That's so sad.
It's not a simple, like, wrap it up in a headline either. Like, it's a lot.
Ugh. Okay. I mean, the trailer by itself looked pretty good. I was like, I'm not usually much of a DC fan either, but it seemed pretty good. So the Blue Beetle trailer, yeah, definitely thumbs up.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'll probably
sure
see
that's one I want to see it.
And I don't know if either of you guys watched the first one or if this is something you guys follow, but most of Creator Clash 2's lineup has been published.
Oh yeah,
what is it again?
Creator Clash. So it's basically boxing matches between YouTubers.
Oh, was Aaron in that?
Yeah.
From Game Grumps?
Yeah,
Okay.
in the first one, Aaron kind of got slaughtered, but like he also kind of knew he was going to, because they got Harley Morenstein first, who you may know as the Sauce Boss from Epic Mealtime. And then the person who is supposed to fight Harley backed out. They didn't have anybody to fight Harley, so Aaron ended up getting put in that slot just because he was the biggest guy they had. But Harley is still nearly a foot taller and almost 100 pounds more than Aaron. So it was like putting, a middleweight up against a heavyweight, or a heavyweight up against an ultra heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
So it just didn't go well for Aaron. But they take it seriously. Like, the people who are in the lineup, they like train like for real for an entire year. And it's like a real boxing match. This isn't like them just going in and like throwing some fake punches at each other for, entertainment sake. Like, it's legit boxing matches.
Yeah, he was talking about it in Game Grumps about what he did to prepare for it, and it sounded like he really put everything he had into it.
Mm-hmm. But Aaron is going to be in it again this year because he said he really enjoyed doing it last time. And but this time he is fighting someone that's much more his size, his weight class, Jarvis Johnson. Marisha Ray is going to be in it, Baron, fighting Haley Sharp. Yeah.
Who's Haley Sharp?
I don't know. I'm just looking at the lineup. Here's the thing about being as old as I am following Creator Clash. I don't know like 75% of these people. But here's what we've got, just in case anybody's listening. We got Alex Wasabi versus iDubbbz. John Randall Hennigan versus Harley Morenstein. So the Sauce Boss is back. We got Michelle Kerr versus Andrea Botez. We got Chris Ray Gunn versus To Be Announced. Marisha Ray versus Haley Sharp. Hundar versus Myth. Aaron Hansen versus Jarvis Johnson. Mika versus Elena Pierce. Leonhardt versus Crank Gameplays. Dad, also known as Nathan Barnett, versus Ab, also known as Ab Ayad. Jay LeRae versus Abelina Sabrina. Jack Manifold versus Dakota Olive. And then you got all the announcers. There's a ton of really good announcers.
Oh my gosh. They've got Jacksepticeye and Markiplier as the announcers. Mm-hmm. Holy crap, that sounds amazing.
For pre and post show, they got Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. They got Moist Critical, Tony Jeffries, Wade Plemons, Amaranth, Super Mega. Yeah, they got a bunch of really good people as announcers, but it's also going toward a bunch of really good charities, with Marisha Ray, obviously part of it's going to the Critical Role Foundation, the Humane Society, American Heart Association, American Kidney Fund, the Able Gamers Charity. So it's all good stuff, and all of it's going down April 15th, and you can get tickets to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'd be willing to go into a ring and get my ass kicked for charity.
Yep.
There we go. That's my $1,000 mark for my charity that I'm working on right now.
$1,000, you'll do a boxing match. Look, $1,000 to TJ's charity, and I am not joking. You're hearing it first here on Casters Guild. $1,000. $1,000. Me and TJ go at it. Boxing match.
Oh, all right.
Nice. I will obviously commentate that.
Yes.
Please do. It'll be on an episode of the Casters Guild, I'm sure.
I have extensive experience commentating backyard wrestling.
Boxing?
But backyard wrestling.
That's about the caliber that we're going for. So
yeah, that works for me.
Have you ever done any boxing before, Rick?
Not boxing specifically, but I did do CQC with some Marines when I was in the military.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
And I did train karate under Ralph Betakeeper.
Oh yeah, I did a little bit of that too, back in the day. Mm-hmm. I've never done boxing myself either. I think you will definitely have an advantage over me.
But to be fair, I've been out of shape for quite some time. But
yeah, well, I have plenty of shape. That's my problem.
Oh, if I was ever getting into a boxing ring, you'd get a good 30 seconds out of me.
Yeah,
and I would be winded and have to quit. Which is also why I don't date.
that's the trick to boxing. A lot of people don't realize you don't have to kick somebody's ass. You have to endure for those rounds. Yep. You think 3 minutes doesn't sound like a long time, but like full out fighting somebody for 3 minutes between rounds, and then you only get to rest for a certain amount of time, and then you're right back in it. That's the hard part.
Yeah. Yep. I will say this. I did high school wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for 1 year and stopped. If that tells you anything, how I felt about that shit. 2 minutes at a time. If I had to stay out of people's range, or I'm done. As soon as they get me in, I'm like, oh, I'm running out of breath. Okay, you got me.
Just need to grease yourself up enough so that way they can't grab you.
Oh.
Oh man.
Can't catch me.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But
back, America.
But TJ, you were telling us something that I didn't know about, because I stay away from the internet mostly around April 1st. But April 1st just passed, and some cool stuff got fake announced on April 1st. Yep. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you found?
Sure. So there's this really great article I found at Otaku that listed many, many different April Fool's jokes, some of which I knew, most of which I did not, and some of them are just absolutely hilarious. Such as, there was a Nintendo Direct, if you didn't know. They were announcing a new feature for several of their Mario games where you can insert the Super Mario movie voiceovers into video games. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. You can have the lovely Chris Pratt, because he's so much better than Charles Martinet. As the voice of Mario in Super Mario Maker. And you can do Luigi, and you can do Jack Black with Bowser, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I was like, wow, that was just mind-blowing. Way to take advantage of, because that's everyone's biggest pet peeve about this movie that's coming out, is about these voiceovers. It's just like taking your thumb and just putting it into the wound and just screwing it around a little more.
Which, by the way, if that's your only reason you're not going to see the Mario movie is because of the voices, I get it. But wait for it to come out on DVD and Blu-ray. Get it on DVD and Blu-ray, and then watch it in Japanese with English subtitles. Because the Japanese voice cast is fucking loaded.
Oh, really?
The Japanese voice of All Might is Mario.
What?
Yeah.
I have to take a moment to wrap my head around that.
Yeah. Like, in Japan, they cast actual voice actors for their animated movie.
Makes sense.
So, if the voices are the reason you don't want to watch it, get it on DVD, Blu-ray, put it in Japanese, put on them English subtitles, watch that movie, because it looks like the movie itself. It looks like awesome tribute to the Mario series. So
100%. Yeah, I'm still gonna go see the movie. I got tickets for it to see this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not super pumped about. I mean, Jack Black as Bowser sounded really, really good. I was surprised.
I also
how wonderful
the idea.
That was.
The ones I liked Jack Black as Bowser. I liked Charlie Day as Luigi, and I like Peel as Toad.
No, Keegan-Michael Key. I think.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yes, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. I like all of them. The Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong feels like he's kind of.
I haven't seen enough of Donkey Kong to really be able to form an opinion on that.
Well, he's done interviews where he straight up said that, when he was offered the role, he told him, he was like, "If you want me to be Donkey Kong, he's going to sound like Seth Rogen because I don't voice act." He was like, "It's just gonna, I'm just gonna do it as me."
They still hired him.
Yeah.
So that's not on him.
No, it's not. It's not. But it's still that doesn't make me excited to hear it or see it. You know what I mean? And Chris Pratt, I'm not. Could have done better for Mario. Like I said, I don't know. I said it last episode. I don't know what it is, because I honestly don't believe it should have been Charles Martinet, because I don't know if I could listen to that for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a really good point. I heard you say that, and I was like, yeah, you're right. He's a little too cartoony for long, extended dialogue. And they did actually use his voice, if I remember correctly. They have actually voice snippets, clips in places in the movie.
Yeah, they said
but when it comes to the actual dialogue.
Yeah, they said he makes a few cameos and might voice another character who's a lesser character. But Yeah, so I don't know what it would have been, but it definitely wasn't Chris Pratt.
Nah, I'm not. I get what they were going for, but I don't think I would have done Chris either. But I'm going to go into the movie cautiously optimistic. I really, really want to like this movie. Mostly because it feels like a vindication of the crappy Mario movie that came so long ago.
Also, if this one does really well, we can see further Nintendo movies. Like, we might see a really cool Legend of Zelda for all we know.
Yeah, man, I'm been holding out for that way too fucking long.
Yeah.
You know what would also be a really great cinematic movie would be Metroid. Samus Aran. That I think could do really well.
Yeah, absolutely. The problem is it shouldn't be a kids movie like at all.
No,
no way.
Exactly. What they should do is do an anime version a la Castlevania.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be tight.
The same people that did
Castlevania
do a Metroid. Fuck. That'd be crazy.
I'd be all over that.
Also, and they're never going to do it, a Captain N movie. Okay, I've said my piece.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Nintendo, call us. We will write that shit for you.
Yep.
It won't be great, but we'll write it.
Yeah. I'll be the voice of Mega Man.
You'll fit right in.
Mega.
I mean, if anybody,
the chain smoker.
If that's the quality that we're shooting for, is the original cartoon, then yeah, we got it.
Perfect. And now I really got to watch another episode of Captain N.
But another one you mentioned that as soon as you mentioned, I remembered it happening. Sega released a new visual novel where Sonic is dead and you have to solve his murder. And they made it free on Steam. And
Baron, you're giving us looks like what?
Immediately it made me think Sonic Danganronpa. Like, visual novel, solve the murder. Like, that's the first thing I thought of. And I'm like, I haven't played it yet, but, like, if that's what it is, I'm gonna play it. It was free. It
reminded me of, like, the Ace Attorney and the Captain Layton. That kind of art style and that kind of point and click and dialogue and whatnot. But, I mean, if they did it in Danganronpa style, man, I'd be all on board on that. I love Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's free on Steam. Go download it. I'm assuming it's still out there. I haven't checked it.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it.
Yeah. All right. So while you're looking, I'll go over a couple more that I saw.
Sure.
So the Among Us, the people from Inner Sloth were at it again. Last time they did horse mode, where your Among Us crewmates would become horses. This time they introduced a horse wrangling mode, which is off of their hide and seek mode, but this time you're the horses and the seeker is a ranch hand wrangler. So he's chasing the Among Us characters and lassoing them. It sounded really good. Unfortunately, it was only available on the April 1st weekend, so I didn't get a chance to play it, but from the trailer, it looked really funny and really cool. There was also the Razer. So Razer, the makers of various gamer PC peripherals, released a new kind of mouse that not only is a mouse for gaming, but also doubles as a shaving razor. So you can game to your heart's content, and then I have a stubble. I forgot to shave today. Oh wait, I've got it right here. Click a button and go ahead and shave yourself and have a nice clean stubble. And at the end of the video clip, it showed them just taking the razor and like going down towards the nether region area, and the video like cuts off before he has a chance to get down there, which I thought was really funny.
Oh yeah.
There is the Street Fighter 6 cat battle system. It is a type of controller that allows your cat to play Street Fighter with you.
Oh, I had not seen this one. This sounds fantastic.
Oh, it looked pretty funny. It's like a cat toy on the one end, and as the cat is like batting it and pulling at it and whatnot, it is translating it to button clicks on the Xbox controller. It was a PlayStation controller they were showing it off at. So it was a guy who was just really enjoying and getting into the game, and his cat just like batting it around and playing the game with him.
That's
so good.
Fantastic.
Uh-huh. There is the Minecraft vote update, and I'm just going to quote from the article here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
From the moment you start the game, you will find yourself in a world of endless voting, where the results fundamentally change the laws of Minecraft. We have created a fine selection of votable features that include everything and anything. Balloons, French mode, zombie mode, rabbit transformations, exploding pistons, haunted world, and much, much more. So there was also Rocket League gameplay changes, such that the chat was overhauled. So now it will basically filter out all negative messages and only show positive messages, such as that was a great game. You're a great player.
I feel like I did hear about that one. That's fantastic.
And the ball was replaced with an Easter egg. So I guess because Easter's coming up.
Oh, by the way, I did find it on Steam. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's still there.
I've added it to my library.
It's still free.
Wait, even better, I've added it to my library, told my child about it. He's added it to his library, all in the space of all of this.
You heard it first here. Go download it now.
You know what? I'll probably link it in the description. Go get
The
Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Absolutely
It's free.
So yeah, there was a couple of them that just really tickled my funny bone. I love it when companies come up with some really creative and interesting ideas, especially if those ideas come into actual products that people enjoy.
Oh yeah, the only one I really saw that really got me was Little Caesars announced a corn cob crust pizza that comes with a 2-liter of liquefied butter.
Wow.
And I think
you showed me a picture of it earlier.
I think right after that, Pizza Hut announced a chocolate stuffed crust.
A chocolate stuff? That actually sounds really good.
Yeah, like on a dessert pizza?
Yeah, sure. Like, and they do have those dessert pizzas. Like, I feel like they could do that in a pizza and actually be good. But I don't want a pepperoni pizza with chocolate stuffed crust.
No.
Like, what you do is you get like a crust that you make kind of like with cinnamony kind of stuff. Like a sweet kind of cinnamon thing. Make it chocolate. You could even put chocolate as a sauce. Put some fucking marshmallows on there. S'more pizza. I'm in.
I think we're all down.
I'd order that
at that point. But yeah, hopefully.
You know who else is down? I don't know if I can pronounce his name, but Thumberchild.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's down. He'd be all about that.
He's like, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? I was feeling awfully skinny.
Put a potato on there, and Helga's in there too. Oh man, so we talked about a lot, but I gotta be honest, I think that's gonna be it for us for this episode. TJ, if anybody liked what you had to say, is there anywhere they can find you on the internet?
Sure. If you go check out my charity page, charity.tjkirchner.com, last name KIRCHNER.com, you can see what charity I am sponsoring this year. This year is the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Last year, my niece was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, so we dedicated this stream in her honor. Our goal is $1,500. If we're able to hit that goal, one of the incentives is a plush bear. So we would love to be able to give that plush bear to my niece as the gift. So we took a chapter out of Extra Life, and we will be doing a 24-hour gaming marathon on Saturday, May 20th. And where I'm just going to be streaming video games for 24 hours. Those people that donate $50 get an hour of the game of their choice featured in the stream. $100 gets you for 2 hours, and any donation of $10 or more gets you and entered into our raffle for fabulous prizes. If you go check out my charity page, it has linked to it my Twitch and my YouTube, so you can see different streams that I've done, because I'm streaming over the weekends too to kind of promote this and get people's attention, get people donating, so we can get closer to our goal. But I've been playing Last of Us Part 1 again with Meg, so that's been a lot of fun. And then I've also been playing games with my kids. We've played Roblox. We're going to be doing Yoshi's Crafting World next. lot of kid-friendly games when it's with the kids, and then when it's just me and Meg, we'll do the more M-rated fun stuff. So yeah, that's where you can find out about me.
And if he reaches his goal, 1,500, we'll start training. And next year, Guildmaster Rick versus guild member TJ Kirshner in the boxing ring.
Got it.
So try to pump up them numbers. We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, buddy. It's on like Donkey Kong.
How about this? 2,000, and I'll jump in. We'll have a 3-way in the middle of the ring. Wait, I said that wrong. Came out wrong.
All right,
Out wrong.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. Tune in next time. Email us, castersguild@gmail.com. Check us out on Discord, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
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 See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.